So hello and welcome back to Let's Play Riven 2024. We just saw an apparition of Gehn in his temple, and we checked out the beetles in there. But we're finally ready to actually do this part of the game. There is a glowy light on top of each of these pedestals, and these things are plumbed into the pipes that come from each of the 5 surrounding islands, and their domes into the star fissure. Glowy button with 5 surrounding lights gives us this thing here. And as usual, Catherine commented on Gehn's overcomplicating things and over-engineering stuff. This counts. Although if these power marbles have elevator have killed Rivenese folks, then we need to be very careful with them, and probably not touching them is the better option. At least not dropping them. Dropping them might be a bad idea. So what we need to do is activate this lever here, and this is similar to the one in the old game. Raises a piston, raises that panel. There's one of those multicolored sliders there. And we go up here and get a grid. Now we solved this grid on the survey island. And we know there has to be marbles in these top 2, this far one, and then these 2 down here. But what color do they need to be? And if you notice the shapes of the things back there, let me pop over to paint and we'll do something here. Give me a moment. If you notice, it's a 5x5 grid. Alright, close enough. You notice that the it had the smallest dot over here, and that's the prison island. And then I think it was like this. No, not like that. This big one here. Then this one. And then that. And then this remaining square here. Remaining grid here is the other one, if I'm remembering this correctly. And so the small one is the prison island. This one, the big one, is the village. The square one is the workshop, or the boiler island. And actually, this is the survey, and this one is temple. I didn't look at everything that I could have over there. We'll go back to that at some point and take a look. But we need the marbles were here. I'm not going to use black. I'm going to use, or red. I'm going to use gray for that. And then we need one here, and here, and here, and here. We know that the prison island has the eye with the dot in it, which is the blue one. So this is the blue marble. I'm going to show the temple island is just a dot in the middle, and that came up to be green. The boiler island we didn't get a color for, so we don't know. Red is the jungle village island. And then orange was the survey island. So that is what we're aiming for here. Let me get this onto the other display. Get rid of this. And now we can load the grid. And I guess purple is the remaining color, so it goes up there. Now we have this thing. All right, so blue I wish I was drawing this instead of using paint. Does this one help? So blue had this symbol rotated there. It's close enough. Which is a number we haven't seen, but we know that the bottom is 10 plus 2, so blue is plus 12. The orange one is a 4. The red is minus 6. Green is the D on the bottom, which is 10 plus 4 is 14. Yeah, I'm not going to draw any more numbers on this thing. So blue, orange, red, and then that leaves us with purple. Is... Actually, no, purple is plus 14. Green is something else. Green is a 4 plus 5 is 9. And that was a plus 9. All right, so how do you do a minus 4 on this slider thing? Well, remember we found out that the base for all of these was 9. So 9 plus 12, just so I make sure I do this right, is 21. I want to unmaximize this thing here and stretch paint out. So blue is 21. Orange is minus 4, which is 5. Red is minus 6, which gives you 3. Green is plus 14, which is 23. Purple is... No, green is not plus 14. Green is... That is wrong. Purple is plus 14, which equals 23. And 9 plus 9 is 18. So we have them in this order. Matching the colors is not critical because they are... You can't slide the blue one past the purple one, so they should be in this order, otherwise you're doing something wrong. So purple is 23. Blue ended up at 21, and the big ones are divisible by 5. Green ended up being 18, 19, 20. The next one is orange, which ended up at 5. And then red ended up at 3. And then we throw that. And that puts the machinery back together. Put enough pressure in there, hit the button. And it goes boom. This thing lights up. And makes the book work. If you come here before you go to the moiety age of Tay, you get some different dialogue in this cutscene. This scene is using the original voice actor lines, but it's CG animation instead of the video that was used in the original game. Because this actor is widely considered to be perfect in this role, and he has passed and wasn't able to record his lines again. But some kind of things flying around out there, and we are once again in a cage. Doesn't anybody here know how to not have a cage around the linking point?
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen.
Right, sure.
I am Gehn. I assume you've heard of me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atris. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed. Be sure the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one.
Ends out justify the means.
I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward.
Yeah, I'm in a cage.
It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer. Atris's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven. Many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the 5th age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially Well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. As far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself.
Nope.
So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atreus desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may.
And once again, it's taken to us from us through the bars of a cage. Second time in this game that's happened. If we did not have the book, he would tell us where the moiety are and to go get it. He did not tell us where they are. He said, just figure out where the moiety are and go bring me the book. At least he's nicer about it than Cirrus and Achenar with their pages. Do it. Do it. Don't chicken out. Just do it.
Perhaps it would be best if you went through first.
So Atreus said it's a one-man trap, and if he follows, which he can't resist at this point. If we do it, then it's got to be safe for him because we're not stupid as far as he knows. Do it. And we're loading. And we are outside the cage in his lab. And we have the book again. If we let him out, it's a bad day for everyone, but he is going to be grumpy. And he's not letting us out of the book. This is his next age creation that he is writing to rescue the Rivenese. We have the standard dunny, which is pipe. Strange design. And we have the standard dunny, almost ritual thing. I've quoted again. This machine is the book power. There's some power marbles already charged. Looks like a second set of them in the other satchel. This is a music box. In the original game, we could never go out here. But the makers of this version know how upset that and cranky that made people, so they led us actually out to explore 233. Now, the Dunny are an underground civilization. They live in caves under New Mexico. So having a bright sun like that's not been a comfortable thing for Gehn, I would be willing to wager. And it looks like he is busy using a solar oven to roast one of those, maybe one of those things. And these rock formations are just unusual. A double gang staircase over here to a fire pit. More scenery, and there is a linking book here. If we open up, it lights up for a few moments, and there's a carved piece of rock in the ocean, and it looks not entirely unlike, I want to say Captar from Abduction, but it's not. But it kind of reminds me of Captar. If we look at the stuff he's using to burn here, this is pieces of one of those funeral totems. So this is probably disrespecting the Rivenese who have passed away. There's a bunch of the funeral totems here, and they've drawn or painted one on the rock. Because you don't have a real one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So maybe a dozen remaining totems. So Gehn is presumably somewhat callous with his followers. All right, but this is the outside. There was also that ladder leading down into the lower level of this room. 5-pointed keys, 5-pointed lock or lock cylinders. We come down here. To Gehn, my husband, and my salvation, I dedicate myself to the love that rescued me, I think is what that says. It's kind of tricky to read. And I believe that is Gehn's father, Atrus. Atrus, A-I-T-R-U-S. As read about in the Mist novels. There are 3 of them. I've read the first 2 and got bogged down on the 3rd one. And we have another journal here, which we will read in the next episode. So tune in then, and thanks for watching.